Disappointing result, disappointing performance. So completely different than I felt after the Paris Saint-Germain game. Losing twice in a row is something I think we do for the first time, but that probably also comes with going into the latter stages of a tournament. So facing Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle in the final are two very good teams, both in their own styles, but very difficult teams to face, because we already knew from the game against St James's Park how difficult it is to beat them. And it was a tough week, but it was also a week where we extended our lead to 12 points from it being 10. So it wasn't all negative, but yeah, the last two were definitely not the way we wanted it to be.
Hey, Arne, do you think that it was the team was physically fatigued or mentally fatigued, or a combination of both today? After Tuesday?
Yeah, mentally is always difficult to judge. Were we on Tuesday mentally or physically tired? No, but this game had nothing to do with running. This game had only to do with playing duels, and there was no intensity in terms of running in this game at all. So you cannot even judge it if we were tired, yes or no, physically. Because we could not press them. You can judge a team if they are tired and if they press, but there was nothing to press because they played over our press. If they had a goal kick and if they got a free kick, which they had quite a lot of in the first half, they every time brought it into our last line, which led to a lot of set pieces. So the game was slow, not intense, so it's difficult to judge for me if we were physically ready. Mentally is always, yeah, that's a difficult one. If you look at the result and the performance, you might feel that it maybe did something to us, but I prefer to look at how the game went, and this game went exactly the way they wanted it to be. A fight with a lot of duels, and a lot of duels through the air. And if we play 10 times a game of football through the air against them, they win it probably 9 times. Because they are a stronger team through the air than us, which led to the first goal and the second goal, because the second goal was also a header that they won at the second post that fell for Isaac and led to the 2-0.
You made them? I put it to the back here. You talked about duels in the air. Correct me if I'm wrong, it looked to me as though Allister was marking Byrne at the corner. I mean, look, you know more about these things than me, but what's the sense in that?
Nah, again, credits to Newcastle, but I can explain. We play zonal, so we have a lot of 5 players zonally, close to our goal. So if the ball falls there, there's always one of the 5 stronger players that is going to attack that ball. And we have 3 players that man mark, and Maka is one of them. And normally a player like Dan Burn or another one runs to the zone, because normally, and I think he's an exception to that, and I've never seen in my life a player from that far away heading a ball with so much force into the far corner. So that is part of logic, that they either have to go far away from our zone, which is 99 out of 100 times that will never lead to a goal, or they have to arrive in our zone, and then it's an equal battle, if you want to call it like this. So credit to him. I think he's one of the few players that can score a goal from that distance with his head. No, because it's 70 years since they've last won a trophy, maybe, but that's for the fans. And the players want to have 15 years to play football, and they want to win every single trophy they are competing for. That's also what we want. But it was a game that went the way they wanted it to go. And they got, just before half-time, some extra energy with the goal, which they probably deserved after the first 45 minutes, because they were threatening us more than we threatened them. And so yeah, I don't think there was more hunger for them. The game went the way they wanted it to go, and they are stronger in that part of football than us, and that's why they beat us.
Porters.
How do you change that in a game if
Yeah, you try to make some changes. So you go to a number 9 that's even stronger through the air than Jogo maybe is, because you're hoping that Darwin in this situation can make it a bit more difficult for their defenders to win all these long balls we had to play in the first half. Because I think Dan Burn, I think he won every duel, and he played somewhere around 150. I don't know, but he played a lot. So you try to influence it like this, and you're showing at halftime that in the few moments that are left when the ball is on the ground, that we have a bit more time than we think, and we could make better decisions than we made in the first half. And that's also what I saw immediately after halftime, when we played Virgil free with a triangle, and he dribbled all the way in, played the ball to Jogo, and that led to not to a chance because Joe Linton threw himself in front of the ball. But I saw the second half us playing through them a bit more, but a bit, not a lot, but a bit more.
Cheers, please.
Such a damaging week going out the Champions League and now losing the major final. How do you ensure that doesn't have a knock-on effect for the rest of the season?
Like I said from the start, it took us 7, 8, 9 months to lose twice in a row, and that happens against 2 teams that are, one of them is fighting for Champions League. Newcastle is a very good team. We knew this already at St James's Park, and the other one is Paris Saint-Germain. Probably, if you can beat us in that style of play, you're probably the best team in Europe at the moment. They still have to show if they still can beat us in the upcoming 2 or 3 months. So, but I want to make clear one more time that the week started off really well by us beating Southampton. That's why we extended our lead to 12 points. With 9 games to go. And yeah, you know, if you go far in tournaments, that the opposition in your face gets stronger and stronger, and that you can lose football. Even Liverpool can lose football games. That's what can happen.
But did the manner of today worry you? The fact that you were outplayed?
Yeah, we were outplayed in their style. Yeah, that's true. But that's yeah. That is what you can call outplayed. Yeah, they won more duels than us. Is that what you mean? Outwork? Is that an outworking, or are they just? Is that one of their biggest qualities, to play so much aerial duels and to win these physique duels? Outplayed for me is if you never don't touch the ball and they play through you every single time you try to press them, and every time you're too late. That is for me outplayed. But I agree with you if you say that they deserved to win, because the game went in the way they wanted it to go. So yes, they deserved to win, but it wasn't like we were only running after them. We had to defend a lot of long balls, second balls, and that's their strength. Yeah.
Last one.
It's the international break coming up now. Is that a good time for the team to not have a few games? I know some going away for international, but considering 2 bad results and then what it would have taken out of them, it's a good time to maybe have that break.
We are here in one of the biggest clubs in the world, Liverpool, but it's not for the first time in their history or in the last 2 seasons that they've lost 2 games in a row. This is part of playing football, especially if one of them is when you face the best team in Europe at the moment, and the other one is facing Newcastle, which is a very strong team in England. So I would have loved to play next week, but now the situation is that they go to the national teams where they have to play 2 more games again. And then it's probably 1.5 weeks before we face Everton, which is again a team we already faced, and we know how difficult that one was. So let's see. I think there are 2 Dutch journalists that want to ask a question. And the other one is there.
Do you think you have some mental issues to solve after 2 red cards? More physically?
I don't think physically, because of what I just said. If you looked at how we played Tuesday, it was the best physical performance in my 8 or 9 or 10 months at Liverpool. I've never seen a team working so hard, trying to press the other team, so aggressive, running so much. Today, it wasn't about running. It was more about duels. Yeah, mentally, it's always tough to lose a final. It's always tough if you wear the Liverpool shirt to go out of Europe. But again, last season, I think, I'm not sure, quarterfinal or last 16 when they lost against Atalanta Bergamo 3-0. And yeah, it's part of it's part of football if you face strong teams that you can lose as well. But ideally, you go through the whole season only winning. But yeah, it can happen that you also, after 8 months of football, lose twice in a row if you face Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle.